Hi, I'm back. So, a really long time ago at this point, I built a house that used all of the packs that have been given away for free before. And I was like, well, since then, we've gotten a lot more packs. I think at the time we had like 3 or 4, maybe 5. But we've gotten a lot more since then. And so I was like, why don't I try and do that again with all of the new content that has been given away for free? Well, first of all, if you missed it, well, I'm so sorry, because that means that, well, you missed it. But occasionally, for whatever reason, EA has decided to give away packs for free. It kind of works like a sale, but it's basically like 100% off. And so for a couple of weeks, you can just kind of claim whatever pack they decide to give out for free. And I'm pretty sure I haven't missed a single time that that's happened before. I think I got pretty lucky with that. Because there are also times for me when I'm like not that active on social media in the community. And so, if that had happened then, I would have missed one of these. But I don't think I have yet. And with this build, I kind of decided, as you can tell, we're in Oasis Springs. And I kind of wanted to build like a modern build. Which I'm not sure if that was the smartest decision with the items that we have with the free packs, but that's kind of what I was feeling in the moment. The same also goes for the fact that this is a house, as in like a residential lot. Maybe a community lot would have been a smart decision with the items that we have, but I'm not sure. But anyway, like I said, this was just what I was feeling, kind of. This started when The Sims was made free to play. So basically in the last couple of weeks before the game going free to play, they gave away this one kit for free. It's called the Desert Lux kit. And it was kind of like as a thank you for people who did actually purchase The Sims. Which, what was the price originally? Was it like 60 bucks? And for a kit it's $5, so it doesn't quite compare, but I guess at least we got something. As the name suggests, the Desert Lux kit has like luxurious desert furniture. I think it's kind of like patio furniture. And it comes with this really cool window that basically made this house what it is. It's this really big window that's kind of like tilted, I want to say, if that's the correct term for it. And so I basically used that to make it look like there are walls on this house that aren't completely straight and are like, well, tilted. Which is pretty cool. I don't think there is any other way that you can get something like this in The Sims at this moment in time. By the way, this video may just be outdated by the time that you're watching it, since it always takes me really long to make videos. So, there is a chance that by the time you're seeing this, they've given away another pack for free, which I here don't have yet because this is in the past. Although I don't really see that because I'm like, for what and which pack? But then again, I don't think I could have predicted the other times either. It's always quite random. And then another kit that they've given away for free before was the Fashion Street kit, which obviously I'm not using here because it just comes with clothing. And my opinion on that kit is so funny to me because literally most of the items are a miss for me. I don't really like them a lot. But then there is also the prettiest dress in the game, in my opinion, in this kit. Maybe I can pop a little image for you on screen, but tell me that's not the prettiest dress ever. And I mean, to be fair, there are some other cute things in this pack, but there are also a lot of items that I'm just kind of meh about. And then we've actually gotten a lot of stuff packs, surprisingly. I don't know why that's surprising to me. I guess because those are the packs that are sold for 10 USD. And I don't know, since it's more expensive, I kind of would have suspected that they maybe want, people to buy those. But then honestly, I think a lot of these packs that they've given away for free are kind of probably just the worst selling packs. Apart from the Desert Lux one, since as I explained that one was kind of, for everybody who did actually purchase the game before it went free to play. But then for example with the Fashion Street one, that one is so niche. And I just wouldn't purchase a kit in general. I don't really like the idea of them. But then I also wouldn't really purchase a clothing kit. So, I could see this pack kind of flopping and then, them just being like, okay, whatever, we'll just give it away. The same also goes for Luxury Party. They also gave that away for free. And is Luxury Party kind of regarded as the worst stuff pack? Maybe. Maybe that's my first pet. I can't decide whether Luxury Party or My First Pet is the worst stuff pack. They're kind of fighting for last place on my personal tier list. But so yeah, they've also given away those 2 for free. And Luxury Party just basically has a lot of ugly party things. It was also released quite early on, so a lot of the stuff in there just feels very like 2015 or whenever that came out. Maybe even, did that already come out in 2014? Wait, does it say anywhere? Yeah, it was released in 2015, May of 2015. And yeah, a lot of the items in here are kind of just, To be honest, I didn't use a lot of these either. I do know I use like the bar stools, and I think I used the ottoman somewhere. But other than that, nah. And when it comes to the cast items, there is literally one hair that I'm interested in, and that's about it. So again, I don't think this is a pack that many people would really buy, and so probably again, they were just like, whatever, let's just give it away. And then My First Pet stuff had like a huge controversy surrounding it, because this was released like slightly after Cats and Dogs was released, and My First Pet is basically a pack for a pack, because it just adds more pet stuff. And honestly, that was wild. I think everybody was so justified for being upset. And the thing is, the items in there aren't even that cute. I don't really know about the pet items, like the clothing for the pets that this adds. I don't even think it's that much either, so it's just so bad. I did use My First Pet stuff in this build though. I do know that I used the couches from that pack. I did also place one of those actual pets down. Later on, you're gonna see. I probably used some other items as well, but I can't really remember. And then they also gave away romantic garden stuff, which I was shocked about, and I also used that a lot here. I kind of had my eye on romantic garden stuff. I was actually considering buying that before they just gave it away for free, because it is a really good pack in my opinion, at least, you know, from a builder standpoint, because it comes with so many cool, like, well, garden stuff. Has some really cool flowers and also just kind of decorations for your garden. Like lots of fancy arches and benches and sort of stuff like that. So I was stoked when this came out for free, but also a bit surprised because, like I said, I kind of had the feeling that they were giving away the packs that were flopping the hardest. And I didn't think of romantic garden stuff as really like a flop pack. I mean, I obviously don't know what EA's numbers are, but still, I thought it was cute enough that people were buying it. Well, I guess to be fair, I didn't either, so... And to be fair, maybe my theory is just wrong, I don't know. And then the last stuff pack that they've given away for free before, unless I missed one, which I hope I didn't, was the backyard stuff. And that was the most recent one as well, I believe. And backyard stuff is also okay, decent, I would say. It comes with, well, backyard things. It comes with that funny, like, slide. I'm gonna place that later on. And I do also like the bird feeders, for example. But again, I kind of see backyard stuff as a flop pack, because I'm just like, you know, why would you want to buy this? And again, also the problem that was made early on into the Sims' run, as in the Sims 4's run. So a lot of the items in there look just kind of dated. So again, maybe my theory is correct, and maybe Romantic Garden just didn't pop off as much as I thought it would. But anyway, they've also, and this is the last one in my list, they've also given away a game pack for free, which was Jungle Adventure. And again, kind of a flop pack, I think. I did actually buy it at some point, but I don't really ever use it. And honestly, I think I should make an effort to play with it some more, because I actually don't think that Jungle Adventure is that bad. I think it may be kind of underrated, by myself included, because the whole exploring those dungeon thingies and exploring the jungle and everything that you can do in that pack, that does seem cool, and I think it's actually quite well made. But, you know, I wouldn't know because I don't really ever go there. I think that's kind of the problem with this pack, is that you very rarely ever really, you know, are in a situation in your saves where you're like, I want to go to the jungle now. No, you kind of have to make like a sim with the jungle in mind. You kind of have to go into CAS Or maybe if one of your Sims has a baby, you kind of have to think ahead of time, like, oh, this Sim's story is like they want to explore the jungle or whatever. Otherwise, you wouldn't go there. So it's probably a bit too niche and therefore a lot of the times overlooked, for better or for worse. Wait, hold up. I may be stupid. I completely forgot about that Blooming Rooms kit. Is that what it's called? I think so, right? They also gave that away for free. Was that the most recent one? I can't remember. My memory is so bad. But they did also give that away for free, and I do also use that a lot in here. That was so dumb just then because I realized I talked about literally all of the other packs while also placing a lot of although at this point there aren't that many, but I will also place a lot of furniture from that kit in here. I honestly don't know what to think about the Blooming Rooms kit because I do kind of like it because, well, plants, they're cool. It's always nice to have some more, but then I don't really like a lot of the options. I think a lot of the plants that come with this pack are just a bit much, as in too much. Instead of just giving us like a simple plant in a pot or whatever, they went for like really fancy designs. Or maybe fancy is the wrong word for a lot of them, just very exaggerated, kind of goofy almost. But I do think a lot of them kind of fit in here. This ends up being kind of a goofy house because there's just so many styles in here because all of the packs don't go that well together, but I kind of made it work somehow. Maybe, I hope. So, you know, we kind of have an eccentric house, and so eccentric looking plants fit right in. But unfortunately, I feel like you can't really use a lot of them that often in more normal builds. Although there are also a couple of cute ones, definitely. So it's not all a miss. So as for the build itself, I already said it's a modern house here in Oasis Springs, and I mean you can also see that, obviously. But so as for the color scheme, I went for kind of like a peachy color scheme, paired up with like a cyan, and I had the idea for this because of that one shelf that comes with the, I think, Blooming Rooms kit. I'm pretty sure, maybe it's from another pack, but I think it's from Blooming Rooms. And it's just this shelf that has a lot of like interesting geometrical shapes that are kind of puzzled together, and it is in exactly that color scheme. I furnished like the little outside area first, and I just really wanted to use that one grill from the Desert Lux kit. And that Blooming Rooms shelf looked really good on that wall where I put the grill. And so that's kind of where I got the idea for the color scheme. And then I also found a table along with chairs, like a set, from I think, I want to say the Backyard Stuff pack. And so when I managed to make both of those match really well, I was like, oh yeah, this is all coming together. But I was still kind of scared because peach and sort of cyan seems kind of like a complex color scheme to pull off, right? Because I wasn't so sure if I was gonna find items that go along with that. But actually, once I moved on to the inside, it also all came together quite quick, to my own surprise. So I'm actually quite proud of how I managed to make everything match. I feel like usually I have a much harder time, but not this time. So as you can tell, this first floor ends up being very like open concept. And usually I think I have a harder time with rooms like this. It's just kind of difficult to make it seem, you know, full and complete. But I think with this one it's actually fine because the room is not that big. And also it's not like just a square. It has this little bump out that the kitchen could fit into very nicely. And I did also kind of section it off because I had the idea to kind of place a wall in the middle there to put the TV onto. I did still end up with like some awkward space in the back that I didn't have anything to do with, but I just decided to turn that into like an office kind of place. So I just placed a desk with a computer on it. And I think in real life this would probably not work because it would be annoying, I think, to like work in the downstairs room with likely everybody else who lives in this house around, and also with like the large windows in the back. I would always feel like I'm being watched. But I mean, since it's The Sims, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, as you can see, I already moved on to the upstairs. And one kind of funky thing that I did in here is I used some like greenish wood on the floor, which is something that I've never used and I never thought I would use it. But honestly, I kind of like it. I don't know what it is about it, but I think I really like this shade of green. And like I said, this entire house is kind of goofy already, so it doesn't really stand out. But so up here, we basically just have the hallway that you can look down onto the first floor or ground floor. And there are 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, which is the only bathroom in the house, which is a bit inconvenient, especially if you actually were to play here. But I think it's fine. Plus, I have no idea where I would have put a bathroom downstairs. I just yapped so much about the bathroom and then went to put the audio file in the video and it was gone. I don't know if my editing software decided to delete that or if I just didn't press record or something stupid like that. But what I basically said is I really liked how the bathroom turned out. I actually cut it out of the video because I always think that the bathroom is like the least interesting part of a house when it comes to the build process. But still, I really like how the bathroom turned out and you're going to see it more closely in the end when we do the final tour. And yeah, that's basically really inconvenient that there is only 1 bathroom in the house, but if you actually decide to move in here with Sims, they're just going to have to deal with that. And as for the bedrooms up here, I actually didn't turn one of the bedrooms into like a parent's bedroom and one of them into a kid's bedroom, which is what I do a lot. Here I just basically put double beds in both of them. And I think with the bedrooms, I also ultimately gave up with trying to make this like a recognizable style. I think downstairs I still tried to like make this modern-ish, but then up here I just kind of threw everything together. Like I said, all of the items from the packs don't really go well together. And yeah, here I just didn't really match them anymore. I tried to match the colors, but the styles are just random. I do think it still works though. In fact, a great piece of advice for building more realistic houses is to not make it seem like all of the furniture is from the same set, because, you know, usually people don't have like the same set of furniture in their house. I don't think this here is very realistic though. I think it's too much and too cartoony for that, but I don't really mind that. On the topic of free packs though, I'm curious, what are some packs that you would really love to see them give away for free? Because I feel like the response somebody might give might tell you a lot about the type of person they are and how they play the game. And also maybe not just the packs that you would love to see going up for free, but also the ones that you think are realistic that they might give them away. Because for example, I would really love to see them give away that Star Wars pack for free, because that is one of those packs where I'm like, I would never buy that. I don't know, maybe someday I will, but I just don't think it's really worth the money, right? I've actually never really looked that deep into the gameplay and stuff, but from what people are saying, it just doesn't sound like a very good pack, unfortunately. But still, it seems like it has a lot of cool items in it, and also it's Star Wars. I'm not like a super mega fan. I actually don't know that much about it, but I think it's cool, yeah. Right, but I don't think it's very realistic for them to give that pack away for free, since it's, the word I can't say, collaboration? That actually wasn't so bad. Maybe I can say it, but I imagine that Disney would be like, don't even think about it. And I do also think the same thing about the Moschino, is it? I still don't know how to say that years later, but the maybe Moschino pack, because doesn't that come with like a fashion photographer career type of thing? That seems really fun, so I would love for them to just give that away for free. But again, they work together with that company, so, or brand, or whatever you want to call it, so yeah, probably not gonna happen. Yeah, I think with the stuff packs, It's probably the most realistic that we're, well, if they ever give away another pack for free at all, which I don't know either. But if that's the case, I think we'd probably get something like the perfect patio or the cool kitchen stuff. Both things that I don't really care about, although I guess the ice cream machine is kind of cool. I think another realistic one would be the spooky stuff pack, and I do like that. I think it has a lot of cool costumes in there. Honestly, I could see a lot of like the stuff packs not selling that well and stuff. Because who's like, oh my gosh, I have $10 to spare, I'm gonna get the freaking fitness stuff pack. Like, I would actually love to see them give away the paranormal stuff pack, even though I have it already. But I think that's actually my favorite stuff pack, simply because I really, really like all of the items that come with it. And so the community kind of getting excited about the paranormal pack again just sounds like a lot of fun to me. I really, really don't ever expect them to release like a full expansion pack for free, as in the $40 ones, simply because they haven't done it yet, and also because I just think that since they are the most expensive packs, they would want to wait for people to buy them instead, even if sales come in very slow. But you know, I guess it's not impossible. I guess it could be fun if they ever release like Get to Work or something for free. Plus, I suppose there is a good chance that a good chunk of people miss these quote-unquote sales and then go ahead and buy them still later on. I don't know, I'd really be interested to see EA's numbers, but I don't think they would ever publish something like that. But yeah, I would really love to see them release like Get to Work or Cats and Dogs or Seasons for free for a while. Even though I already have those packs, but I just think it would be fair for everyone to have them, because I mean, you can probably say this about every single pack or nearly every single pack, but with so many of them, I'm just like, this should just be in the base game. Like with Get to Work, for example, I think it's so weird that it's so normalized for us that Sims just kind of disappear when they go to work and that you can't follow them. Especially because in real life, somebody's job is a really big deal. And for some people, that job is like their whole life. Especially with Seasons though, right? I think that is the #1 thing probably that should just be in the base game. It is so stupid to me that you just can't have rain or any weather or, well, seasons in the base game. I don't know, I guess we've just all accepted it, but isn't it so strange that the base game is kind of stuck in eternal summer? Yeah, so I'd love to see them give those away, but again, I don't think it's very realistic to expect that. Probably more likely is all of the kids. And even there, I'm not quite sure, because I actually think, I have the list open, I actually think I really like a lot of the kids. Not all of them, but some of them are actually quite good. And so I kind of expect a lot of them to not flop enough for EA to give them away. I think one that's realistic that I would also love to have would be the Courtyard Oasis one, simply because it has a lot of pretty items. I guess, do you think they would give something like bathroom clutter away? I would like that as well. Okay, I just yapped some more about like the kids, which ones I like and which ones I don't like, but actually we don't have much time left because I am right now placing in the last final items, and then we are going to move on to the final tour and show this place off. Okay, here it is. I really like how this turned out. It's kind of, again, it's a bit chaotic. I feel like the house itself is kind of giving, well, modern average house, and then all of the landscaping is kind of giving a magical fairy alien garden or something like that, and I feel like it doesn't go that well together, but I still like it. But let's actually show you what it looks like from the inside. So when you first come in, you're kind of in this entrance area thingy, whatever, and you can go through here into the big room where we have the whole couch area with the TV on the wall there. And I really like this. I did not expect to use my first pet stuff couches, or I guess one couch in here, but I did. And then over here really quickly we have the kitchen, where actually instead of an island counter I placed a bar in there, which doesn't match perfectly, but it's close enough. And then here's the rest of the room. But before we head outside, I first want to show off what it looks like upstairs. And so when you go back into the first room here, you can walk up these stairs, and this is your POV if you are looking down from the stairs. And then you get into this little hallway up here. And like I said, I also placed one of my first pets, and I placed this little purple thing, whatever those are called. I don't know, they kind of scare me. But when you go through this first door here, you get into the bedroom, and I actually didn't paint the ceilings, I just noticed. Or maybe I should still do that. But so this room also has the door to the little balcony on the front with a little bench out here. And then if we walk back outside and go through the next door, this is where the bathroom is that I didn't really show off. I mean, it's not like the most special bathroom either, but one thing I really like is I placed this little shelf on the mirror here, and I think that's quite fancy. Not sure if this would be practical in real life, but I like it. And then if we walk back outside and through the next door, we get into the next bedroom. And yeah, this is kind of, I think, where I gave up with trying to make everything match. This one is kind of the most chaotic, but I still like it. Okay, now it's time for the outside. Let me just quickly fly through the floor, as one does. And then we're back down here, and now let's go through these doors here. These are so cool. They're also from the Desert Lux pack. And then this leads you to the little barbecue area that I built first, that kind of started the color scheme. And if you walk through the corner here, you get to the pool, which I also placed. And back here, kind of hidden, is this fireplace. That's kind of a bit random, but I just really like this item, so I wanted to place it somewhere, even if the spot is kind of random. But so this is what the outside looks like. I did also place like a little archaeology station here. Also a bit random, but since it comes with Jungle Adventures, I also just wanted to have that in here. And then over here we have the most fancy gate ever. And this leads you back to the street. But so back inside of the garden, I placed this little slide from the backyard stuff. Kind of outside of the lot using move objects. Back here we have some chairs. Yeah, pretty cute. I guess not that special. Oh, and the last thing that I wanted to show off is that back here in this landscaping thingy we have a little hidden froggo. So cute. And I actually forgot about the trash cans, so I placed those in last minute. And yeah, here's what it looks like from the outside again. And with that, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I once again have kind of like a batch of videos. I like to think of them as seasons. So I'll be uploading them weekly for a while until I have no more. And in the one that's coming next week, I am building a super pink and cutesy breakfast diner. And I hope to see you there too. Yeah, thanks. Bye!